Hi guys and welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at MH Tutorials, and today we're going to do a subscriber request, which was can you model a stairway that you would find in a mansion? Okay. Now I don't have any reference at all, so I'm going to do this on the fly. So let's hope this works out. Okay. I'm going to start off by creating a polygon cylinder. I'm going to drag that out in the grid, pull it up a little bit, hit 5 for shaded mode, and in my attribute editor I'm going to go to my polycylinder tab. I'm going to increase the subdivisions to 40 to make that nice and round. Okay, let's just check that quickly. Yeah, that will give me two nice halves. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that, go to face, drag, select half of that, okay, and I'm going to hit W and I'm going to pull that out. Okay, now don't mind these, that's fine, we'll fix that in a sec. So that will be our initial shape, something like so. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our top view, go to edge, select these edges here, just going to get rid of those. Select these edges here and get rid of those. Alright, so we clean that up a little bit. And we are going to double click. Actually, we're going to select all the edges. Not sure about these here though. No. What we're going to do is we're going to select these top and bottom edges. There's a quicker way to do that. I'm going to select this view here. Drag select all the edges and then shift drag select the edges in the middle, which will leave you with the top and the bottom, which is good. Then we're going to go to edit mesh, we're going to go to bevel, we're going to increase the segments to 10, and we'll make the offset nice and round, let's say 0.8. Okay, so now that we've got that, we are going to take the bottom here, right click, go to face, select that face, go to edit mesh and extrude, and we're going to hit W and we're going to pull that down a little bit, so that will be the base. Okay, alright, so that's our first part. We're going to right click, go to object mode, select that guy, and just going to go back here. We're going to set our translate values to 0, like that. And I'm going to go to edit, delete by type, and history. All right. So that's the first step, or plateau, if you will, of our stairs. Okay. So now next, we're going to create the first step here. So for that, we're going to create a polygon cube. Drag that out in the grid. Pull it up, something like that. All right, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that, pull that up, hit R, scale it in, something like that, and we're going to move that back on top, so we're going to switch to our side view to do that. Hit W and pull that down until it's sitting on top again. Okay, I'm going to hit F to zoom in. Now I wanted to stick it out a little bit at this end, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the insert key, which will allow me to move my pivot point to that edge there. So now if I hit the R key to scale it out, it's only going to scale out this end. Okay, so I'm going to hit R, something like that, not too crazy. Alright, so we got that. Now I want this to be a bit rounded, at least the front part here, so it's more in line with that section. So I'm going to select these two, edit mesh bevel, and again increase that to 10, and let's make that nice and round, let's say 0.9. Okay, we're going to select these two, we're going to go to mesh combine, which will make it one element. We're going to go to our top view, we're going to hit W, and we're going to move that into position. And let's see if this is nice and central or not. Hit W, actually modify center pivot, which will allow me to see that a bit better. Okay, so that would be that. All right, so that's our first section. So from our perspective view, it looks something like this. All right, and now we're going to duplicate that all the way up. Now typically there are 13 steps, so I'm going to duplicate 12. So I'm going to go to my side view here, hit F to zoom in. So we got that guy. It's selected. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. Going to pull that up until it's sitting on top of it. Move it over to about there. Okay. So we got 2. We need 11 more. So I'm going to hit Shift D 11 times. Okay. So hold down Shift and hit D, 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 D. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So that should be the first part of our stair. Well, okay, like that. So we got that part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the one on the top here, like that. We're going to take these edges here. So go to Edge, select these edges, and we're going to pull them out, something like so. Then we are going to take that one. Actually, it's easier to do it this way. Just drag them. So we've got those. And we are going to hit R, and we're going to scale them out like that. So that looks about right. Something weird's going on there. Oh, that's because of my bevel. Sorry, guys. Just have to go back there. Apparently, I selected something that I shouldn't have. So we're just going to retry that. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we should be able to drag that out with not too many complications. And apparently we do. So what's going on there? Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take this guy. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. I mean, it's freeform anyway, so we're allowed to adjust our design as we move along. Okay, just to keep things not too complicated. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that by 90 degrees, minus 90, like that. We're going to go to our top view. Okay, so I want that to move over here. And let's drag that in here. Okay, I want it to be a little bit out here, so I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to right click, go to Edge, select these edges, move them out. So we're okay there, right? Then from this view here, this is going to make it a bit more tricky. So this is our plateau up here. This is our first step. So I want to hit Control D to duplicate that. I'm going to pull it up so it's sitting on top of that one. Just hit F to zoom in so there are no gaps. Let's say there. Okay, and let's see if we could, yeah, okay. So this is the correct view. So it's sitting on top there, and we are going to position it. So a little bit up and a little bit out, something like so. And we should be able to hit Shift D for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's make that a bit, a bit smaller. We're going to drag select the whole thing. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. We're going to move it over here. And we're going to hit E to rotate that and flip that around. So hit E. Rotate that by 180. Go back to our top view. And let's get that thing in place. Okay. So where are we at? So we're going to move it up here. We're going to move it in. We're going to hit F to zoom in. And we're going to hit modify and center pivot to be able to handle this. Okay, so let's see, a bit more. That looks about right. So what have we got so far? We are going to go in and look at this here. And I'll just drag, select the entire thing, pull it up a little so we can see it a bit better. Okay, so this is our ground floor, so to speak, and I'll just drag something out there so we can see it a bit better. Take that guy and set it on a ground plane. Just pull it down just a little. Okay, and that will give us this. All right. So now we are able to tweak this a little bit. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to create some decorative poles here on the stairs. So for that, we're going to take a polygon cylinder. We're going to pull that up. Go to polycylinder. Let's make that 40 to make it nice and round. And we need quite a few height subdivisions here. Well, not too much. Let's say 10. That will allow us to model this somewhat. So first we're going to hit R and we're going to scale it in to make it nice and thin. We're going to stretch it out a bit. And we're going to move it into position until we have the right thickness and height, and then we're going to model it. Okay, so hit F to zoom that in. We're going to get that roughly in location. Somewhere down there. And as you can see, it's still way too big. We're going to hit R, scale it down, 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 down. Maybe something like that. Pull it up. And we should be able to do 2 of these, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Is that a good ratio for height? No, it can be a bit taller. Pull it up a little. Okay. So that looks about right. So now we're going to model this guy. Okay. And we can actually even do it here. We're going to hit F to zoom in. Just a bit more. And let's put in some more height subdivisions. Let's make that 16. Okay. We're going to right click. We're going to go to vertex. And we are going to drag select the top and the bottom. So shift drag select the bottom. We're going to hit R and we're going to pull on the yellow one to pull them in a little bit. And then stretch them out a bit. Okay. Then we are going to select that one. Pull that in. And just, create something that you believe is a nice decoration. Okay. You can do that any way you want. Whatever you feel is cool. And we're going to soften this up a little bit in a second. So that looks okay. Let's do one there. I don't know, something like that, okay? All right, we're going to right click on that, go to object mode. We're going to select this guy, shift right click and smooth. Let's check it out from our perspective view, see how it looks, whether that looks any way decent or not. Not too crazy about it. So I'm just going to go back a few steps. So we're doing Control Z to undo that. Need to tweak it a little bit. So Go back to vertex. Let's tie that in a little. Let's take that one. Yeah, maybe something like that. A little bit better. And let's pull down on the thickness a little bit. And again, this is, make it the way you think it's okay. Okay, so we got that. Maybe we're not going to soften it, but anyways, we got that one. We're going to go to our top view. We're going to hit F to zoom in. And we're going to hit W, and we're going to move that into position. So we've got one there. Let's do Control D to duplicate that. And we're going to pull that over like so. All right. Let's see what we got. We got these two here. We're going to move that in. That would be something like that. Looks like they're sitting on the steps. We'll just quickly check that. And they are not. Pull it down a bit, like that. Okay. So we've got these two. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move them over and move them down like that. We're going to hit Control D again. Like that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so we're going to hit Control D again. And we should be able to hit Shift D in a second. No, not yet. Control D. Control D. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. Shift D, Shift D, and Shift D. Okay. So this is what we got so far. All right. Now we're going to take these and we're going to copy them over. So we'll do that from this view here. So we're going to drag, select those. We got all these. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate them. Go to our top view, and we're going to copy them over here to the same distance from the edge, like that. Okay, that will give us a good initial start. And we need to do the same up there as well. So for that, I'm going to take these two. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate. Pull up. Hit E to rotate them by -90. And we're going to get those on them steps. Let's see what we got from a top view. Okay, let's do something like that. Pull them out a little. Okay. So we get those. We're going to zoom in. Modify center pivot. Pull them down a little bit, like that. Hit Control D to copy that. Pull up and pull over, like so. We're going to hit Shift D. Why is that not working? Control D then. Pull that over. Control D again. pull it up, pull that over. For some reason my Shift D isn't working. We'll get there. Pull it down just a little bit. Control D, one more. Control D. One more. Control D. And Control D. Okay, so we got that. We're just going to select those sets so we can copy them over. Hit Control D to copy them. Go to your top view and move them over there. There we go. Now that should look okay. Yeah, not too bad. All right. And now we are going to, we got those already selected. We are going to copy, so shift copy, shift select these first until we've got the whole thing. Go to mesh and combine, hit Control D, modify center pivot, which will allow us to move these copies over. Hit E, flip them around by 180 degrees. And now go back to your top view and make sure that these are in position correctly. Now it's hard to tell from this view, so we're going to check it here. So are we okay on our steps? Looks like we need to bring them in a little bit. That looks a bit better. Okay, so now that we got that, what you can do is you can actually create a wall in the back here just to give it a bit better effect, you know, with ceiling and so forth. So select that, hit Control D, move it over, hit E to flip that up by 90, okay, and hit W, and let's move that in. Let's see what we got. So we still have some space there. Yeah, looks okay. All right. Okay, so now we got that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon cube, and I'm going to clean this up first. Hang on. I'm going to take that. I'm going to hit R, scale it in a little bit, and move that up so it doesn't look that weird. Take that edge, move that in. Okay, that's a bit better, right? So we're going to take a polygon cube. We're going to pull that out, pull it up just a little, hit F to move in. We are going to go to our top view, F to zoom in, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, and we're going to do one there, and we're going to do one there. Hit Q to exit that. We're going to right click on this, go to face, select that face, hit W and pull it up just a little, like that. And we're going to bevel these edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these 4. Edit mesh, bevel. Okay, not too bad. So we got that. Right click object mode. We're going to select it, and we're going to hit W, and we're going to move that into position little by little. We'll go to our top view, which will speed things up a bit. So that needs to go over there somewhere. So let's get this thing scaled. So pull it down, hit R, scale it in, because we want that to be proportionally correct. All right. And we're going to hit, there we go. Okay. So now we need to move that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a diagonal over these poles here, and then we're going to add little triangles. Okay. So our starting point looks okay. Now what we're going to do is, if the width is okay, just check for my top view. So this needs to be in the middle like that, so the poles are in the middle. Maybe scale it in just a little, something like that. Okay. Now we are going to go to this view here, F to zoom in, hit insert key to move that to the beginning, like so. And then we're going to right click, go to vertex, drag select those vertices, and we're going to hit W, and we're going to move that down here. Okay, as you can see, we're pretty close to these poles here, so it looks like the whole thing has to move up in a second. But nevertheless, this will give me a good opportunity to make sure that these are level, and this doesn't look too bad. Okay, something like that. All right. So we're going to right click on this, go to object mode. So right click, object mode, select it, and we're going to push that up a little bit, like so. So now we got that. Okay. Go to our top view, hit Control D to duplicate that. Move it over, so you got the same situation going on at this end, like so. All right, we got those. We're going to take one of those, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. We're going to pull that up. Just going to quickly zoom in so we know where we are at. Let's think, okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that one up. I'm going to hit E, rotate it like so, minus 90 degrees. And now we're going to select one starting point. So I'm going to hit W, move that down, and I want that to line up with the first pull down here. So just check my views. Okay. Now, yeah, this is a good starting point. So I want that to, and I'm not worried about this angle. I'm going to fix that in a second. Something like that. Okay. So we're going to move it like so. I'm going to go to my top view so I know that I'm aligned. And I know that when these are in the middle, and let's do that. Okay. Then we're going to go for this angle. No, not that angle. Let me think. This angle here. So we got some spacing here. So I'm going to right click, go to vertex, drag select those. First of all, I'm going to bring that down so it's in line with this one here. And I need to adjust my angle. So that would be about right, I think. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. And let's give it a bit more length. And we can tweak that later on if it turns out that it's not the right angle, but it looks okay. So we got that. We're going to select that guy. Hit Control D. move it over to that end, check it from our top view, and as you can see, we have to bring it back in a little bit, like that. Select these two, go to Mesh and Combine, hit Control D to duplicate that, W to move it over, E to rotate it. That's weird. Hang on. Modify center pivot. We're going to rotate that around by 180 degrees, which will allow us to select them, hit W, pull them in, and we should be able to get fairly close to what we're looking for. Let's check that from this view. So that one's pretty much aligned, and that one is as well. So what we've got so far. All right, that's what we have so far. Okay. Now let's deal with these triangles. Okay. So what we're going to do there is we are going to take a polygon cube. We're going to drag select that, and obviously it's way too big. Scale it down a bit. Move it up there. Hit F to zoom in. Let's get at least one in the vicinity of where it needs to be. Check from this view here. Okay, so that should be around there somewhere. From a front view, it needs to come down, so that's where it's going on. Okay. Okay, scale it in. Hit W, move that in, make it a bit wider, so R to scale it out just a little. We're going to hit W, we're going to bring it in until we're inside there. Okay. Right click, go to vertex, select that, pull that up until we are at the same angle. And that looks about right, which, as you can see, means that we need to right click object mode, scale it in a little bit more, adjust that angle again. So take that guy, push it down until we're at the same level there. And then we need to take that guy, go to vertex, drag select those, and we need to pull them up so we're level. Okay. Right click vertex, that guy, bring it down just a little bit. Okay, so technically that should be number 1. Right, let's get that into object mode. Let's move that into place. Looks level. We're gonna just make a little bit decorative because this is extremely square, obviously. So we're gonna select these two faces. We're gonna go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. R to scale that in. That will give us something like that. Pulled in, okay. Right click edge, drag select the whole thing, Edit Mesh and Bevel, which makes it look a little bit nicer. And this still looks a bit square, so right click face, take that one, Edit Mesh, Extrude, scale that down something like so, and hit W and move that out. Now what we can try is, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that, go to object mode, shift right click and smooth. No, I don't like that. Okay, Control Z and go back. Okay, so I'm not unhappy with this. All right. So we got that one. So we need a lot of copying right now. I need to copy them all the way down here, and do the same on that end, and that end, and that end, and so forth. I'm not going to bore you with that, guys, so I'm just going to pause the video, copy these all in, and be back with you in a sec. Alright guys, so I got all these triangles copied in, as you can see. I got an entire row here, here. I got one up there, and in the back here, and I can just show you that. So here and here. So now next that we need to do is we need to create two ends here. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, create a polygon cylinder. We're going to make it big for visibility, but we'll scale it down in a sec. We're going to go to our polycylinder tab, and we are going to change that to 240 to make it nice and round. And let's do some height, let's say 10, okay. And let's switch views, so we got a better view. Here we go. And we are going to tweak that a little bit. Okay, so first of all, we're going to scale it in a bit. Let's say something like that, and pull it up. So we've got the basic shape. That's going to go around here, something like that. Maybe a bit too high, because I want to have a sphere on top of it. So something like that. Looks about right. Okay. So now we're going to right click, go to face, drag, select these faces here. We're going to scale them in a little bit, like that. We're going to do the same with that one. That looks about level. And let's do the same with these two. Okay. And you can, be as creative as you want to be with that. Let's see what we got. Hit F to zoom in. Okay, let's try soft mode. So right click, shift, smooth. That's not too bad. And again, you can tweak it any way you want. Let's rethink that. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. So we're going to take a small sphere. We're going to put that on top. Again, make sure that you have enough subdivision to keep that nice and round. Let's say something like that. And I'm just going to quickly position that on top. Switch to my top view. And bring that in. Just going to zoom in, hit F. We're going to make sure that it is centered there and centered there. Let's check on our height. It needs to move up, let's say so. And we're going to take these two, and we're going to go to mesh and combine. And let's position these from the top perspective, okay? First, I'm going to go to modify center pivot to get that into position. Hit F to zoom in. We're going to go with that and that. Let's hit Control D to move that over. Looks about right. Let's check it from our perspective view and see what we got. Okay, now we need to extend these two, so I'm going to select that, right click vertex, drag select those, and I'm going to I'm going to bring them in here and make sure that I'm not messing up my line. So I'm going to do that here. No, here. Okay, so I got the other one as reference, so I need to come up a little bit. That's better. And I should be well inside, like right now. Yeah, there we go. We're going to do the same here. Right click vertex, drag select, switch views again, bring them in, and bring that down. There we go. All right. So this is a basic staircase. Now, just for effect purposes, I'm just going to quickly slap a texture on this to give you a sense of what this will look like. Object mode. Come on, guys. Object mode. There we go. Drag select. Deselect your floor plans and so forth. Mesh combine. Right click. Assign new material. I'm going to go with a Fong material. Make it nice and shiny. Alright, we're going to click on the checkered box here. We're going to select the file. Hopefully I got some wood file texture, something going on. Maybe, let's see, what do we got? That's not the wood we're looking for. White oak, maybe. Yeah, white oak is not bad. Let's see if that works. Hit our checker tab there. There we go. Okay, that's nice. And what we'll do is we'll quickly assign a material to these two. Right click, assign new material. Lambert. Let's go with black. Why not? Let's set up some lighting here. I'm just gonna use a mental ray. I'm going to use some indirect lighting, just simply because I like that. We're gonna select our global illumination, image-based lighting. There we go. That will allow us to select the file, and we'll just get one of those. And I'm gonna go with a studio file. Let me think. Yeah. You can get those free in a lot of locations, but we're going to need quite a little bit of additional lighting because this is going to be a fairly dark scene. So we're going to go to create lights and point light. Just going to drag that up, drag that out. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate that, and Control D to duplicate that again. We should have some fairly decent lighting. I'm just going to go to the top. Actually, it's not decent lighting, it's lighting that we're throwing into the scene, but you know what I mean. Okay. Just, you know, so you get a sense of what it's going to look like. I'm going to go into my point light shape tab here. Going to go to shadows and use depth map shadows. We're just going to scale these out, so we don't have a lot of that going on in our render. So let's select an angle for this. Okay. Let's just give this a try, won't we? Alright, so in our render settings, I got mental ray selected, I got global illumination. I'm going to increase my quality to about 1.4. And I'm going to select HD 1080. Okay, so let's give this a try. Here we go. Hopefully it's not going to take too long, otherwise I'm going to have to just pause the video. Doesn't look too bad. Let's hope that it is not too dark. And again, you know, this is certainly not the way how you would, you know, texture and render your object. I just didn't want to leave it gray, so you would have a sense of the effect of the stairs, okay? So don't shoot me. Just give it another few seconds. I'll just pause for a second till it's done. Hang on, guys. Alright, guys, and I'm back. Well, this is the render. Hopefully this looks something like a staircase. Again, you know, this is, you know, if you would do this properly and you would take your time and work out the details and render it correctly, I think we're looking at, you know, 3 hours or so to set this up in a, you know, in a fairly acceptable way. That's not the intent of this tutorial. This is to give you an idea how you can, model something like this. Of course, it's up to you to spend lots and lots more time on this and make it look nice. Okay, so that's the tutorial for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you get any tutorial requests, let me know. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.